Hello, family.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ooh, wow. So jolly. So jolly. I have my handsome hubs, Patrick, the one and the only, back with me today.
The only.
The only for a ho-ho holiday extravaganza. So buckle up, fam, because we are ready to have a holly jolly time. I'm Nicole Morris, licensed marriage and family therapist and mental health correspondent. And let me be the first to say, welcome to the family. The OCD family, that is. I am here to create a community of support for family members, spouses, partners, parents, adult children, as there may be adult words, and chosen family of OCD sufferers and their community. I've had over 22 years of experience in the mental health field, but please note that this information does not qualify or substitute as a diagnostic evaluation, therapy, or treatment, and it is presented on an as-is basis. Please follow up with a qualified mental health provider in your area regarding concerns for yourself or loved ones. Thank you for joining us today. Now, let's get started. Okay, fam. So, like I said, Patrick is back with us today. And you know what, Patrick?
What's
I
that?
said that right as you went to take a drink. By the way, Patrick made us these holiday cocktails.
That's right.
They're very fancy.
I think they look a little better than they are.
He's
They're
like,
okay.
they're aesthetic over function
Yeah.
in terms of fancy.
Yeah, there's a little rosemary sprig on there, an orange wheel.
There's
pomegranate seeds in there. It looks great.
It looks like a $14 cocktail.
Well, in some places it might be, but it doesn't live up quite to my standards.
Patrick has become quite the mixologist as of late, and so usually we are function over form. Except apparently when it comes to our drinks, usually they have function and form.
You know what's funny?
Tell me,
when you
kick your pants off and they
Yeah.
stick to the wall, my dad used to always say that, and Patrick loves it because I say it every time.
What's funny is I do have high standards on drinks, but one of the drinks I really do like is just eggnog and butter shots. That's it. Just take eggnog and dump some butter shots schnapps in there. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
It's gluten-free too, in case that matters, folks. You know what?
So good.
We stumbled upon this last year because if you joined us for our holiday episode last year, and if you've been checking out the YouTube channel lately, I'm still kind of going through and trying to upload the backlog of videos that happened prior to the water cooler chats. But I just uploaded that ho-ho holiday episode that we did last year about this time. And last year, I was like, how can we make a fun and frisky hot chocolate? And so it was like looking through, because our kids love hot chocolate, and I'm like,
Risky.
It's fun. And so
I like it.
So I was like, finally I came across butterscotch. Is it butterscotch?
It's called butter shots, but
Butter
yeah, it's
shots.
basically butterscotch flavored schnapps,
It's
and it's
okay.
cheap. It's like $10
It's $10 for a sizable
for a big plastic bottle of it. It's
It's
not
the fine
fancy
stuff, folks. It comes in the plastic bottle. So I was like, you know what? That would make an amazing frisky hot chocolate. And then you know how many times we've made that frisky hot chocolate?
Zero.
Mm-hmm. Because also
Risky.
we have a lot of allergies and sensitivities going on in the food categories here at the casa. And so we are lactose sensitive. Some of us can't really handle it. And so we found that Lactaid, the company, has eggnog that makes lactose-free eggnog. And we ended up just adding it to that. And it was so amazing that we're like, screw the hot chocolate.
It's kind of
Kids can have
funny
that.
when we thought we'd have to go totally gluten-free, and then when we thought we'd have to totally go lactose-free at a certain point in our older lives, we were like, well, at least we'll be eating healthy food. And then all these manufacturers are like, but wait, we have, drum roll please,
butter shots in the plastic bottle.
Yes, exactly.
Would you like some Happy Nog? Yes. They also have
Yeah.
Holiday Nog, by So Delicious. I think So Delicious is the brand that does the holiday nog. Also very good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good. It is not
It's
as good
not
as the
eggnog.
Lactaid, though.
It's not eggnog.
Yeah.
That's like, this is a good orange. It's not an apple. And it's like, well, we didn't say it was an apple.
Right.
It's an orange.
They call it holiday nog because
it's
it is an
holiday.
eggnog.
It is.
That's the point.
It is not an
They
eggnog.
know it's
It is
not eggnog.
It is an eggnog alternative. It is spice, jolliness,
It is good,
and
like I said.
and a touch of nutmeg, I think.
But if you compare it right next to the Lactaid eggnog, it does not compare.
Don't compare things that are alternatives. You're like, this oat milk does not taste like vitamin D milk. That's right.
Yeah.
It sure doesn't. By the way, I can't really drink oat milk, so I wouldn't know. But I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't taste the same. Anywho, we are back, and last year, actually, we did this holiday episode, and it was a lot of fun. But Patrick, the last time I think that you were here on the podcast visiting with the fam was our conference recap from the San Francisco International OCD
That's
Conference
right.
this past
Just
summer.
last summer.
I know, which it feels like it wasn't that long ago. But here we are. It's already the holidays.
I told Nicole this a couple days ago. I feel like we were just dying Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah.
And now suddenly here we are. Like, I really do. Like, like if I think about the Easter eggs, it feels like a very vivid memory from a couple weeks ago. Like, it just does not feel long ago at all.
Maybe because when I was updating the decor in the building downstairs, there was like Easter egg shaped chalk, and I was like, oh my gosh. But last time we talked, I've been doing the summer series. We paused the summer series to give a little bit of a conference recap. And now we're going to come back and play some more games because that was fun. End of season 1, too, we also did kind of a game night, and that was fun. And people generally enjoy. I got feedback like, wow, love the stripper story. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can catch that, too.
Yes.
On
a previous episode.
On a
Go
previous
find
episode. See if you can figure out which one.
Yes. It's a game.
It's a game. Hide and go seek. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to play some games. But first of all, and because Patrick is such a good husband and he is just continued to support the fam here, engaging in the conversation. He'll bring up questions. He'll bring up certain things about different episodes. And since this is your first time back, we're not quite mid-season, but it's your first time back. We'd love to hear some of your thoughts on season 2 thus far and maybe some episodes or things that have stood out for you. Not to put you on the spot, but totally putting you on the spot. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's fine. The last episode I just listened to, I listened to some of it today, actually, was the Pinto episode.
The Pinto, Dr. Pinto, Anthony Pinto.
Anthony Pinto, sorry.
Oh, you're cool. Anthony is a family friend now. I said, Anthony, I think we're friends. And he's like, yeah.
The first time you guys talked about
OCPD,
obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
Excellent. He gets a gold star.
Yeah. The first time I heard you guys talk about that, I came away more educated, but still a bit confused. Not to put down what you guys did or anything, but it's a confusing topic between OCD versus OCPD. And when is it?
One or the other.
One or the other, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't create the topic, so I don't take offense.
No.
I'm sure Anthony wouldn't either.
But what was interesting about this last episode was one thing that really clicked was when you guys were saying that one of the big differences is ego dystonic versus syntonic. So if you're struggling with behaviors that you don't want to have and you know that they are causing distress and they're against your values, et cetera, and you're trying to like run from something that is plaguing you, whether it's germs or whatever it may be.
Imposter syndrome,
whatever. Yeah. That is like an OCD pathology. Is that the right word?
Sure.
But then like you have OCPD, which is like having essentially the way I think of it is a very intense personality of like ideals that you have for yourself, but they have gotten to the point where you aren't able to function very well because of perfectionism, because of wanting to live up to your standards. And that's an ego syntonic thing. It's like, this is what is aligned with my values. And I thought that was an interesting distinction. So that was one thing I learned.
Yeah, something that Anthony mentioned last year, but also in this episode, and I'm impressed. He just listened to it. It's been out for like, at the time we're recording this, a handful of days. So thank you for all the things. That's wonderful. But what's interesting is Patrick loves lighting design.
I do.
And he loves creating experiences. And it could be like walking into our door. It could be something more artistic even than that. But he also...
Or even the engineering stuff I do.
Or the engineering. One thing that he has done that is a little less fun for me because I feel a lack of control around it, ironically.
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say? What am I going
There
to
are
say?
many spouses out there who would say the same thing.
Say it.
The home automation stuff.
Yes. Okay. Patrick has home automated our lives.
I know.
And
when it works, it's fantastic.
When it works and there's communication. This is probably what it is for me. I could be standing in a room or sitting in a room. Patrick is maybe at the house. He might be across the world. He could be in Copenhagen. This happened while you were on this business trip just a couple months ago. I can't turn the lights on.
In your own house?
In my own house.
To use your language.
In my own
house, I cannot turn on the light.
And I have to text him.
In Copenhagen.
And be like, turn on.
The family room light.
The family room, please. Right.
And then magically the light comes on all the way from Europe.
Yes, he's home automated. And he is the master control and engineer and understands what got flipped and circuitry and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Usually
it's a fair criticism.
Usually has it set up so we can both control it. But if anything happens
and goes wrong.
What do they call it when it's kind of a flicker, whether it's like a brownout? Do they call it? It's not like electricity's off, but even if there's like
like a brownout. Yeah. Or
like a power surge or something.
Yeah. And we do in this city, we get a lot of power
surges. In this house, in this kitchen.
It's the city.
But we're like,
I know that.
But
yeah.
How many of y'all can relate that you're like, can't run the air fryer and the dishwasher at the same time, or we blow a circuit and we have to go. So it was the house too.
But I don't have the server on the same circuit as the air fryer.
Fair.
Just so you know.
Yes, to clarify. But here's where my point is. If the circuit gets blown by the air fryer running at the same time as the dishwasher, then it often will throw off the home automation thing. And suddenly I can't control lights again. And it's not my favorite. He also has different scenes set up. So, if we are going to watch TV, he has a theater mode. If it is nighttime and we want a little bit of light, but not too much light, it's cozy time. He has all these things. The point, actually,
like I said, when it works, it's fantastic.
the point actually in the story is when Anthony originally brought up the dimmer switch analogy last year, and we talked about it much more even again this year in the episode that just recently posted. Last week, fam. Last week, you can go hear it. But I always think of you because Patrick loves a dimmer. If it's not dimmable.
Every light in our house is dimmable. Unless the device itself can't handle it.
Like lights you wouldn't even think need to be dimmable.
Oh, yeah.
Are dimmable.
But I like being able to dim lights. I like it.
He loves dimming lights.
I do.
So I
really do.
As an avid dimmer, someone who enjoys dimming, what did you think of the dimming analogy in terms of understanding how treatment could look? Because even within like projects, OCPD or not, if you get kind of all in on a project and it's like, oh my gosh, Patrick will be the first to tell you he's a unitasker. If he gets really absorbed or has like a really monotropic focus in a project, like the dimmer switch is a great analogy for.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. I think that I've had to actually grow in this area a lot. Like I probably would say that in my 20s, I was a very intensely perfectionistic person in my 20s. And
when it came to art or just everything?
Pretty much everything. Like anything I did, I would throw myself in 110%. And I would get so down on myself when things didn't go according to plan, even in the slightest way, it could still be amazing. And I would be upset by results all the time. The dimmer switch this is not probably the right thing to say, given what you just asked me. But the dimmer switch to me is like, the more I've learned to use it, the more mature I feel. Like, I feel like maybe maturity isn't the right word in the context of people who are struggling with the dimmer switch. So I'm not trying to belittle anybody. But for me, like, the skill of learning how to use that dimmer switch and say, okay, it's okay if things are just good enough. I have a friend who's very successful down in LA who is a podcaster, but also like a sports commentator. And one of the things he told me recently that he lives by is, don't let perfection be the enemy of good. It's probably famous, but he's talked about that with me many times. And it's such a good point. It's like, it's the problem that I had is I wouldn't even do things at all sometimes because I knew I couldn't do it 100%. So like, I didn't have time to fully do the thing I want to do. So I wouldn't do it at all.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is like, no, sometimes perfection can become the enemy of good. Sometimes good is all you need.
Yeah, what's interesting is when you were saying that, I was just thinking of Luke. And Luke, I wouldn't say is struggling with OCD, but I find because he's neurodivergent, he's autistic, and he also has
Luke is our son,
Luke is our son.
by the way.
Some processing delays too. Like he is becoming increasingly more aware of what his peers are capable of, and he's so strongly motivated to want to do it. But if he flat out thinks, I'm not going to be able to achieve this, and it's hard to explain because he is so extremely motivated that he takes on things that are so much bigger than him that I'm like, dude, choose a different battle. And he's like, nope, doing this. I want to do it.
And he will do things that blow my mind.
And he blows my mind. But at the same point, this is coming up a lot in school this year, even with if he reads a story and he knows that he doesn't exactly understand the language comprehension questions.
He has enough awareness and understanding to know, wait a minute, they're all getting something that I'm not.
I'm not. And I feel sheepish about that. You know what? I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And so
he gets upset.
Very
upset.
And not surprisingly, because we talked a lot on last week's podcast too about how I felt like there were a lot of correlations that could be helpful, not only with OCPD warriors, but also within the autistic community and neurodivergent processing. So whether we're talking ADHD, sensory processing disorder, other processing disorders, because I was like, I think there is something to, here's how much energy it's going to take to do this. I want to be able to do all these things. I can't dim up on all those things. And I don't think what you're saying is wrong, because essentially what I'm hearing in your feedback around the dimmer is, I used to not do that and now I do it and it feels so much better. No hard feelings to the people not using the dimmer. But like you're saying, you used to be there too, and it really had to be learned.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so I think that's a great point. So yeah, Dr. Pinto, if you guys are interested in learning more about OCPD, I think colloquially when people are joking or maybe not even joking, but also aloof and naive to how much they're downplaying sometimes OCD when they're like, oh, I just like things organized. Actually, it tends to fall more toward OCPD, but again, only if it reaches that level of distress where it's like, I am so upset. I don't have the life that I want in so many areas because I am so consumed by time trying to do things well, trying to do things the right way, and really not being able to allocate yourself enough to all the things. So I think that's really good. And hey, friend in LA, fellow podcaster, hey, Boo, we miss you if you happen to be listening to this.
Yep.
Okay. Any other thoughts on season 2? Anything that stuck out?
I mean, it's been great so far.
We enjoyed the flowers from the pans, ladies.
Oh yeah, that was a great episode.
It was. I mean, I loved the series. I love the OCD related disorder series, but really, it was so interesting talking with so many great people that have given their time to this family and community. So
I'm amazed how many people are willing to essentially donate their time.
Yeah.
To talk and to really reach out to the community. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed at you for all the things you've done to facilitate it. You've done an amazing job.
Thanks, Boo.
It's true.
So onward and upward, I'm going to give you a choice in terms of the games. We're going to get to the games. Last time, and I heard lots of fun feedback. They were like, you know what, as distressing as OCD is, it was really fun to just joke around. And the reality is this can be your homework even when you engage in games like this, bossing back your OCD. And so it's not only fun to be able to process it and connect with each other and share some laughs, but also the fact that this can be what treatment looks like is a beautiful thing. So we're going to start with games. We're bringing back an oldie but a goodie because it was a really fun one for us last time in Would You Rather. But I also have a new game.
All right.
Mr. Morris, would you like to start with the classic oldie but goodie Would You Rather, or would you like to start with a new game?
I want to start with the Would You Rather.
Okay.
I'm very excited about it.
Okay. So we both come up with Would You Rather questions.
Yes.
And so how this game rolls, let's just remind the fam here. With the Holiday ERP edition, I'm actually just going to say Holiday OCD edition because it doesn't have to just be ERP if you can come up with an ICBT type concept, which I tend to do these days. But our whole objective is to play around with realms, themes, triggers, subtypes in a value-driven way to be able...
Oh, value-driven. Just kidding. Just kidding. Keep going.
It's like, would you rather murder 10 or 20? And I'm like, I don't want to murder everyone. That's not my value. Says all the harm OCD folks. They're like, right on, sister. Okay, so we're going to do Would You Rather, and I'm going to actually post last year's questions if you want to kind of use some stock questions, not sure what this might look like, but also I have a bunch of blank question cards is what we're using today, and you can come up with ones that are more applicable to maybe some of the themes that you're dealing with, that your loved ones are dealing with. Last year we picked some for Jack, some for Patrick, some for me, so we're going to...
Most of the ones I picked this year are for you.
And I might be adapting mine then.
Let's see. I'm just kidding.
I didn't.
I think it's because I didn't know the rules.
You didn't? We played it last year. All right. Well,
sorry.
Well, you know what? That's fine. All right. So Would You Rather? Okay, so we'll take turns.
Actually, to be fair, some of the ones I came up with are sort of generic. You'll see.
Judgment on the lack of creativity. It looks pretty, just like the drink.
Yeah.
But it underwhelms. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, it was a fair swipe. All right, let's do it.
Okay, go for it. You go first.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with a softie one here.
I like softies.
Would you rather die or live in pain?
I just took a drink of my Holly Jolly drink and I was not prepared for it. Sorry, give me that value-driven question again.
Would you rather die or live in pain?
I mean, don't we all live in pain? I think I'm a pro at living in pain. I'm going to probably choose that.
I just figured I would start it off as soft as possible, and then we can go to the harder question.
That's the softie. That's the softie. Okay.
Your turn.
Would you rather host a holiday party without realizing that you got a little bit of a poop smear on the back of your pants?
Oh, geez. Or what's the alternative to that?
Or would you rather serve your guests knowing that as you were cooking what's that word? Fastidiously? How do you say that? He's like, what? He's
what
like,
are you talking
Let's just go. You were cooking and accidentally a snot drop fell from your nose into the main dish.
Without people knowing?
You know.
Yeah, without them knowing, though.
And you either say, I'm sorry, we have no food, and they're all hungry.
Snot
over poop.
Well, look, I don't want to be walking around with a poop smear on my butt.
You wouldn't have known it.
Well, eventually I would know. Unless I'm like inept at these things
I mean,
with
when
no hygiene.
for fairness, when you get undressed at night, if you were throwing
No,
the
I would
pants
know.
in a hamper, are
I
you
would
gonna be
never,
like,
I would
do
never.
you inspect the
There is
buttocks
no
to be
way.
like smear or no smear?
There is
You
no,
won't inspect the pants.
there,
He doesn't. He does not
there
take out the
is
pants and be
no
like, let
way.
me make sure. There's no way.
There is no way, at least in my current health and vitality of life, and as of this time,
It's a little
there is
smear.
no way that I
It's-
would have a smear and not know it at
Yes,
some
no,
point during the day.
You could have a smear.
No.
And
It's not possible.
It could have been residue that when you pulled up and maybe you see residue and you're like, oh, I'm washing my hands. We're all good. You just didn't realize.
No.
In my opinion, not to rationalize it, right, fam? But in my opinion, I don't think, if people are sitting there looking at your butt, which I don't blame them, but if they're sitting there looking at your butt at the holiday party, and they see like, how close would they need to inspect to even be like, oh my goodness, is that a smear? Only you would potentially know, if you even saw it, that it was a smear. You'd rather serve snot knowingly.
You're asking me a very tough question, my wife. This is difficult.
I am his wife. He used my proper title.
Moving on. I said snot. I'm sticking to it.
So take that, folks. If you come over for a dinner party, it might look pretty. And
come on. Everybody knows that this is just hypothetical.
Everybody knows.
Oh, stop. Okay, here we go.
Okay, the softball one is over, folks. So let's buckle up.
Would you rather eat a full meal of 2 pounds of bacon and nothing but 2 pounds of bacon, or be sick for 2 days?
I mean, kind of used to being sick for 2 days.
No, you're not. You happen to have a cold right now.
I am getting over a cold.
Yeah.
But before we knew I had celiac disease, I was sick for like a good year and a half there, where I was like, what? I was chronically pregnant on top of that. And yeah, all those things. 2
pounds of bacon.
I don't even know how much.
Whole meal.
I don't even know what 2 pounds of bacon would cook down to, because I am. For those of you listening that are not aware, bacon has been I've learned it could even be like a disgust contamination trigger from what I learned from this online OCD conference this past fall. But
indeed.
But yes, I do fight back my OCD. I've been eating bacon, but I don't know.
But you'll eat like
how much is 2 pounds?
Look, I'm proud of you. I thought you'd never eat bacon as long as I was married to you, forever.
I like how he had it forever. He was like, as long as this was working.
And
I mean, forever.
And you will eat like a piece of bacon sometimes at a meal that bacon is served, which is like shocking.
I don't take, I eat it. If it's served on it, then I eat it as everybody else eats it.
You've never done something like eating a pound of bacon or 2 pounds.
I mean, I don't know that people should.
Most people don't. Now, when I was in college
should we go and order 2 pounds of bacon?
Let me say something. When I was in college once.
Carnivores don't come after me. I know y'all like your meat.
When I was in college once, this was my form of like, yeah, I'm on my own. I was like, I could do whatever I want. I can eat a pound of bacon. So I actually made a whole pack of bacon. It was like, this is going to be my dinner. And I did not feel very good after that. I wasn't sick for 2 days.
That is different than what I did in college.
A lot of people would look at that and roll their eyes.
You know what we used to do in college a lot? This is going to sound awful. Oh, well, it's fam. We're fam, right? We can be honest. You know what we used to do?
What?
Which there is an air of truth. If we use the logic and reasoning like we learn in ICBT, that is sound and good logic and reasoning, there's like enough.
Nice little tie back there.
Thank you. There's enough realism in here. But my girlfriends, if any of my girlfriends were listening, they'd be like, yeah, we totally did that. They would have late night movies, like 11:30 or, 11 o'clock at night or whatever. And they would be a little bit cheaper. And in college, you have no money anyway, and all that stuff. And so this is before like cell phones really because
Right.
hashtag
Because
old.
we're old.
Right. But
I mean, there were cell phones.
there were some
there
cell
weren't
phones,
smartphones.
but yeah, they were like a little flip phone.
Uh-huh.
Text messages cost per text, and you couldn't even. You had to do what
The
is
Motorola Razr.
what is the text?
Oh, yeah. T9.
T9 texting.
If you know,
which
you know.
Sucked. Yes, if you know, you know. But what we would do
Yeah.
is first we'd be like, oh, you know what? We should go see a movie. Not even because we care what's playing. We don't even know what's playing, but because we can. Because, you know, like we're done with the day. Why not go see a movie? But we'd be like across campus or wherever, from wherever the car was parked. And we would call and be like, hi, I'm leaving the library or I'm leaving my dorm to go to blah, blah, blah. My car is parked in this lot. It's far away. I'm scared. Will you please give me a campus, not chaperone, what do you call it? Like a valet. It wasn't fancy enough to be valet. But will you give me like a companion, like pickup or whatever, because I'm a girl and I don't want to walk across the campus at 11 o'clock at night or whatever.
Sure.
And so they'd be like, certainly. And they would whip on over and get us in the car and go over and get me to my car. And then we'd run off to the movies because we were like, we could walk, but we could also just be like, I'm scared. So we would do that. But here's the air of truth in it. Like, folks know, vulnerable folks know, not even just women. You can be anyone. You can feel vulnerable and not safe to walk alone at night and be worried about being harmed. Fair. But this was totally something we would do to get to the movie on time and not die or be attacked.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, so that's what I did in college. You ate bacon.
Okay.
I was a damsel in distress, so I didn't miss the previews. Would you rather be in an office meeting and...
Yes. Just kidding. Keep going.
Would you rather be in an office meeting and totally forget what you said in front of some important people in the company and have to be like, I'm sorry, I just zoned out. I don't even know what I was saying.
Okay.
Or would you rather ask somebody else in a meeting something where they didn't know and they had like a complete meltdown where it was like, oh my gosh. And they run out of the meeting and you were like the asshole over there that were like, if only you didn't ask that question.
That second scenario you just described is not a thing I've ever even like thought about one time. Glad
I could plant a thought.
So I would say I'm not really worried about that happening. But that said, like I probably would pick the first one just because.
So humiliate self or
just because I don't know. As I've gotten more like comfortable in leadership at companies over the course of the last couple of years, I've gotten to a point where I've just realized like everybody's just people. It's okay to have an embarrassing moment in front of other people. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to suddenly box you in as some person who can't think of things or like they're going to categorize you in some way. It's like everybody has a moment. And even if it's especially bad, total like deer in the headlights, I forgot everything and moving on. It's like usually I can find some way to gracefully bow out, if that makes sense. So I
could tell a white lie.
I
change the subject.
I've learned how to talk in companies. So, you know, the reality is, yeah, I'd probably pick the first one because I wouldn't want to humiliate somebody.
Look at you being all mature and shit. You're like, you know, I don't know, self-confidence, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know.
No, I think that's great.
There was a time when what you just asked me would be like my worst fear. Only a few years ago, even. Probably about 6 years ago, I'd say.
Actually, December 12th. No, just kidding.
Yeah, like between 6 and 7 years ago, somewhere in that range.
Can I tell the juiced story?
Yes, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
This just popped up when you said this as an example of it.
Yeah.
My heart rate went high. Getting excited.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
This story is going to be good. Oh no. Are you ready, everybody?
Yeah, buckle up. No, I remember I was working in LA. Patrick was working for this company called Juiced. If you've ever seen the show Jackass.
JOOST, by the way, was the company.
Juiced. It was under the umbrella of a company that he worked with for many, many years, like over 10 years. And
well, at that time, I had only been there a couple years. But yes, over the course
To
of
correct the record,
Yeah,
the point is, folks, he went
doesn't
on to,
matter.
he went on to work here for like 10 years. But they had
Uh-huh.
different business units, and Juiced was one of the companies under the umbrella. And if you've ever watched the show Jackass in every language,
The MTV show.
the MTV show,
Yeah.
the Jackass people had some kind of like premiere party or something. They went exclusive to streaming. This was early in streaming days too. So streaming was kind of a newer thing.
Yeah, that's true. It would have been kind of, well, YouTube had been out for a few years, but I don't even know if Google owned it yet.
YouTube had been out a few years, but it wasn't like you could only watch this on streaming.
Yeah.
Generally.
Right.
And Jackass made some kind of contract with Juice that they were going to have exclusive rights.
Yeah.
And it was by far their like biggest client, wouldn't you say? I don't even know any of their other clients.
It was 100% the biggest client. Yeah.
So they had some kind of party.
Yeah.
Like a release party, or I don't know.
Yeah, it was some sort of like Hollywood just because we can party, you know.
Yeah,
Hollywood, man.
Patrick, by the way, was like one of the main people working on this show project. He got to see Jackass in every language to make sure,
me.
working out the bugs and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
No, but if you think about it, like for a living,
Before it was released, I got to see it.
You got to stream like
Yes,
and
they brought in the hard drive and handed it to me with the official edits before anybody had seen them. Yeah, no, it was interesting for sure.
Yeah, they got some. He's seen some shit. So
Yeah.
he does all this work on it, and they have a premiere party, and of course that means alcohol and fancy.
It's Hollywood
and attractive people and all the things.
All the things.
And so he somehow misses, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this, he misses the invite somehow.
So what happened was it was kind of a quickly thrown together party by Johnny Knoxville, I believe.
Yeah.
Or something like this. And so, and then they were like, yeah, your whole company should come down to it. So then like a bunch of people just ran off.
Johnny
to
was
the party.
high and was like, we should have a party. Well, he
by
was
the
like,
way, we don't know he was high.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you better not say that. But like we don't know he was high. He may not ever get high. I don't know. But
not that we're judging people getting high.
Just say, I'm not trying to libel him. The point is,
okay, you legalese.
The point is, everybody ran off to this party, and then I came to the office because I had to do some kind of chore or something. I don't know. And everybody was already gone.
You're like the story of Cinderella here.
Yeah, everyone was already gone,
like,
and
sweet.
I lost my mind. I was
totally
so
did.
upset because I thought everyone was invited but me. That's what I thought.
He was like the only person, the head person on this, and he wasn't invited. And he was very distraught.
I was.
I don't matter. People don't value what I contribute. I'm not even worthy of an invite by Mr. Jackass.
Looking back on it, it's so cute. It's like I thought everybody doesn't like me.
It's like a little puppy.
And yet probably nobody even gave a thought. Not because they didn't like me, but because the world was so much larger than me, you know?
Right. So he somehow calls me or texts me or I call him or something. But I remember I was at work and he was like so upset. And he was feeling pretty low in that moment. Like, I've been a fraud and nobody cares. And all these things and
Yep.
all that rumination and replaying everything he's done and how it must not be of value. And it's like his whole worst nightmare coming true. And I'm like, I bet like somehow you just didn't get the email. I bet this was a mistake. He's like, no.
It turned out that it was even more benign than that. It was like they all left in this. What happened was like,
Knoxville's like, let's go.
Yeah, it was literally like, hey,
okay.
hey, come down to the Beverly Hills Hilton or something. It wasn't like even an official thing that much. And so, yeah, if I was definitely not non-invited, if that makes sense.
Right. So Patrick Corella got to go to the ball, y'all.
Yeah.
But I think I even said, like, you need to text your coworker and be
Yeah,
like,
so I
"What's
text my
up?
coworker. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of like, I'm here and
I
nobody's
suck,"
here.
and nobody.
And I'm kind of bummed like that I wasn't invited. He's like, what are you talking about? Come down here. Everybody's down here.
Yes. And then he was like a little lap puppy happy
It
again.
was all in my head.
It
The whole
was
thing.
all
The
in his head.
whole thing was in my head, everybody.
Oh
The
my
entire
goodness.
thing.
We can't relate at all, can we, fam? Wink,
No.
wink. Yeah, no. But
I
it
have a
is,
very strong imagination.
and OCD lives in the imagination, so it
Exactly.
makes sense. But you know what?
Yep.
I love that you get to have that perspective now, because he is so far from the person he was, and yet the same
Thank you,
person he
baby.
was.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
But he's still the same person, and
Oh,
and this
yeah.
is what I want to say to that end. Like, you don't have to be changed or think like this is what has to happen. It was literally a shift in something that he was putting all this basis in was irrelevant versus what was actually happening in the here and now.
Right.
And so that makes such a profound difference.
Yeah, like I still have struggles. Like, for example,
Nope.
like nowadays it's more of because I'm a computer programmer, I'm a tech lead at a company now. And it's kind of like, well, it's one thing that's very easy to fall into with this is like the whole imposter syndrome. If anybody out there is a programmer listening, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Or a person.
But it's really common in programmers. It's very easy to compare yourself to other people in my industry. It's like extra easy for some reason in my industry because there's always somebody right there in front of you who's better than you at what you're doing. But that's okay. I've had to really learn, I do have some imposter syndrome every now and then. Like a week ago, I had a day of it, but most of the time it actually doesn't bother me too much. And I've just had to learn to be like, screw it. Get out of here, imposter syndrome. I'm worth it. I can do this, and but it's taken active, like explicit mental effort to say, go away, to get rid of that.
We also ICBT'd the shit out of that. And
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. I was like, you want a party trick for this? And he was like,
Yeah, that's true too.
I do enjoy party trick.
So
Okay.
shall we do another one now?
We can do one more of those, or we can move on to the next
One more.
game. Okay, one more. Make it a good one.
Here's a good one.
A great one.
Would you rather fail at life or
Value-driven failure.
succeed with people who love you?
I'm
sorry, succeed.
sorry, wait a minute.
I misread my card.
No.
I know.
I know it.
That totally.
I'm gonna take succeeding with loved ones for 100, Alex.
No, I wrote this and I read it wrong.
No, that was
Would you rather
good.
fail at life or succeed without people who love you? That's what it was.
No, I like the first edit. I don't like.
I know.
I was like,
would you rather?
I was like,
would you rather completely lose everything or completely gain everything? Which one, Nicole?Uld you rather have nothing that you need or have everything you need? Like what?
And what? With all your loved ones.
Oh my gosh! Would you rather live a life of abundance or utter failure and poverty?
Oh my gosh. I think you did it perfectly, and I think I'm getting better and better at this game. So, okay. I think that was a good note to end on. What we're going to do next is we're going to play another game called OCD Categories.
Okay.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
remember? You've played categories before, right?
Uh-huh.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but I've done it before.
It's been a minute. Okay, so
Yeah.
listen, stop, evaluate, and listen. That's your scorecard. You're looking confused. Okay, so fam, you know I got you. When it comes to the would you rather, whether you want to create your own fill in the blanks, customize it for your own OCD themes, what your family is dealing with, and make it a little fun ERP or even ICBT exercise. It could be done with ICBT as well. Folks going like, what would that look like? My next question would have been like, would you rather have gotten all your sense data from smelling or touching. So that's an example of how ICBT can go in. But I'm going to have these posted over on the website. So I have the ERP, but again, like I said, you can do ICBT, ACT, whatever, based kind of thoughts. And would you rather game, empty game cards. You can also just write it down. You can think about it on the spot, but it's a fun game. And I'm also going to have the download for this OCD categories game. So what we have is we have a game card, and then we have a couple different list cards. Okay. And so the list card I haven't given you yet, Patrick, because I don't want you to read ahead, but I have a special twist to this. We have a third player. It's going to be you, it's going to be me, and Chat GPT.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, cool. That sounds fun.
Okay. So I created these game cards. Y'all, Patrick, me, and Chat GPT all have the same document available to us. Okay. And so if you are not familiar with the game's categories, it's literally an opportunity for us to pick a list, and I have some lists already created. I also have a few blank lists if you want to create and customize some around, again, you, your loved ones, OCD themes, subtypes, struggles, and that can be a fun little twist on whether you're doing an exposure or creating alternate stories or all sorts of different things. And so we'll just play a couple of rounds here. But essentially, we have about 90 seconds. We're going to set a timer.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what I will do through the magic of the editing, y'all, is you're going to hear a little something, some kind of cue.
Okay.
That will signify that the 90 seconds have gone by. That way you don't have to sit Jeopardy style and wait while Patrick and I think. But I'm going to answer this. You're going to answer this. Chat GPT is going to answer this. And then if we have a unique answer that nobody else guessed on our list, we get a point. And the person with the most points at the end of the game wins.
I feel like Chat GPT is going to win.
We'll see.
It's a language model.
Okay.
A powerful one.
I think we have powerful language too.
Uh-huh.
You have said you have the imagination set.
Yes.
So what I would say is, based on what list we pick, it's probably going to be easiest to just fold it and have this column next to your column that you're going to write on.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to have 90 seconds. Don't look at the questions. Don't look at the questions.
Oh.
Right? So there's some different categories. Now, generally in categories, you'll just have different lists. You don't necessarily have a theme. Because we're making this a little more constructive towards bossing back OCD, I have some themes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have Chat GPT pick for us which list we're going to start with and a letter. And essentially, we have to answer all the questions, as many as we can in 90 seconds.
Okay.
With a letter, same letter. We're all using the same letter. And we want to try and come up with unique answers so that we can get a point. Okay? So that's the name of the game with categories.
All
I'm
right.
going to tell Chat GPT. I happen to have the first page printed out. So we're going to just pick between lists 1 through 4. And again, Patrick and I are going to necessarily know the theme until we see it. But I'm going to tell Chat GPT, pick a list between 1 through 4 in any letter of the alphabet. Do not share your answers yet. Because again, remember, Chat GPT is playing. Okay, so Chat GPT, let's choose list 2 and letter C. I'll hold off on sharing answers until you're ready. Just let me know when you would like to hear them or if there's anything else you need. Enjoy your game. Well, thanks, Chat.
List 2.
So we're doing list 2, and I find you
Folding.
can cut or you can fold, but they should line
And
up.
it's the letter C.
So we're doing list 2, letter C, 90 seconds on the clock.
Open the timer.
There are no timers set.
When automation doesn't work for you.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now. Got it.
C was a hard one.
It was.
Yes.
C is not a common word.
It's not even a word.
No, C is not a common letter for
Word,
words
okay.
to start with. You would
There.
think that it is, but it's not.
And I'm going to tell Chat GPT because I told them not to give us
GPT.
whatever. The answers, yeah. Okay. Share your answers, please. All right. So here we go. First one up. So this list is themed on relationships. Relationship OCD can be a tricky one, can cause a lot of comparing, and it can really take us out of where we're having the relationship in our head instead of with each other. Oh, duh. Chat GPT thought of a great body part. We'll go through them. Because I struggled with that one too. So anyway, and everyone else was like, body parts. So there's on list 2, what we'll do is we'll take turns reading what the prompt was, and then we'll see what our answer was. Okay. And I'll keep score for the chat bot here.
All right.
Okay. So for number 1, it was word or phrase to describe your partner.
I put caring.
I put caring.
Darn it. So we have to cross it off.
I thought you might put cute. No judgment. Just
so
kidding.
We crossed that one off.
Yes, we crossed that one off. And guess what? Chat GPT also put caring.
All right.
The linguist it is.
Well, at least it didn't get a point.
It didn't get a point.
Yeah.
Screw you, Chat. Okay, next one. A partner's body part. This was a hard one to think of. That starts with the letter C. Letter C. What did you come up with?
I came up with cervix.
I mean... I'm keeping it in there. It's true to form. It is what it is. I put capillary gland. I don't even know if that's what it's called.
Okay.
And Chat GPT for the win, although I think cervix is pretty good, put cheek.
Aww.
We all have cheeks. Got 4. Most of us at least. Chin. I just thought of another one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure there's 1,000 of them.
I don't know that capillary gland counts for me though, so I don't think that's a body part.
Oh, you're right.
So
it's not.
So you
could have just said capillary.
Well,
that would have worked.
You could have just said something right, and that would have been correct.
All right.
Okay. Something you do with your partner. Oh, no.
I don't have that one.
I got off on that one.
I have pet names for your partner.
Oh, it got confused. Chat GPT totally got it wrong. Okay. You're right. That is what I have too. Pet names for your partner. The chat got it way off. What's your pet name?
I couldn't think of one, so I wrote Candy. I'm going to cross it off because it doesn't count.
Hey, Candy.
Oh, I could not think of a thing I call you that starts with C.
I said cutie doodle.
Yeah, you call me that sometimes.
I do. Cutie doodle. Chat GPT said cooking, but it also thought something we do with a partner, which is not a bad question for this, but no.
It hallucinated.
It went into the imagination.
Yeah, which it does do, by the way.
It can. It even has a disclaimer. We can make
does.
mistakes.
Yes.
Consider checking.
Yeah.
Okay. We're like, yes, we're compulsive people. We'll do that. Okay. Number 4. I have a feeling that
items that can be found in your bedroom. You go first.
Oh, the chat got this way off. I said computer.
I wrote crap. And it's true, folks. Crap is in our bedroom.
My gosh. That makes me laugh. Okay.
Hey, we're a family of 3 children. We don't have time.
Okay, so we get a point. Chat was like, a cafe. No.
Nope.
It was misunderstanding that. Okay. All right. Number 5. Something you are better at. So you, the individual.
I am better at car repair.
Sure are.
I should have put computers.
I put counting
That's true.
Because of math.
You are better at counting.
I have a little computer brain when it comes to
I'm jealous
math,
of people who have that kind of
but
brain.
not like Jack's brain. Jack's brain is a supercomputer. But Patrick can't do math to save his life.
Jack has solid state memory chips in his brain.
Yeah, he's like, I looked at it once in 2015. I'm like, when you were 2. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
And then he remembers it. Yes.
That kid's crazy.
Yes. Chat got it off. So it said chocolate. It doesn't know what it's talking about.
It's getting worse and worse.
It got some of the questions mixed up, I think. Okay.
All right. Something they are better at. What am I better at, baby?
Something they are better at. I said creating special effects.
That's true.
You are better at that.
You are better at counseling.
Oh, clever. We both get a point there. Let's see if the chat, no. The chat's like a song about love. Can't help falling in love. Where are you, chat?
It's not even on the letter C anymore.
No, can't help falling in love.
Okay.
7, place you've been together.
California.
Is that what you have on yours?
Uh-huh.
That's what I have on mine.
Darn it. Cross it off, baby.
It has cupcake.
That is where we met. It's a cupcake? What is going on?
It thinks it was doing a term of endearment, which is cute.
Oh, man.
It just made up its own questions at this point, and they're not bad ones. I'm looking at it, but yeah. It was like, I'm lost, and it was in its own spiral. We get it, fam, right? Well, even computer spiral. Isn't that reassuring? Okay, how about number 8? Things they do in their free time. So things that our partner do in their free time. What did you say?
No, what did you say? You go first.
Code.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
In fact,
that's why I couldn't put coding for the thing, because
I do work when I'm on my free time. That's true.
Yeah.
You do crafts.
True. I actually don't love doing crafts, which is what's fun.
Well, it depends on what I mean by crafts. Like if
guess...
you're designing something for our house or something, that's a craft.
I do like to create.
Yes, create.
You like to create experiences. I also like to create experiences.
Yes.
We have different creation.
We have different
strengths.
outlets.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we even consult the chat? It says a wedding location, a chapel. That's not what the question was. Okay. All right.
It's entertaining.
I know. It's like on its own little thing, and I'm here for it. Number 9, first impression of partner.
I couldn't think of anything, so I wrote colorful.
That works.
It works, though.
It works. Oh. Works.
Yeah.
Mine was cute.
Oh, what? Why didn't I think of that?
Oh, charming.
It's just the words.
No,
C words are hard to think of.
C words. Cervix, though, for the win.
I know.
He looked me over, too, and he was like, when does she have? Oh. It's true, I guess. All right. No shame. Number 10. Place of an amazing date.
All right. Cruise.
Oh.
We went on a cruise on our honeymoon. That was an amazing date. Never stop dating, folks.
So funny. Oh, man. I just had to say, Patrick loves cruising, and I surprised him and the fam with a cruise this year, and now the kids ask like literally every other weekend. They're like, so when are we cruising again? And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not how.
All 3 kids have been programmed, and I'm here for it.
I said cozy apartment chopped challenge.
Oh, that's fun.
Have you guys ever seen the show Chopped?
Mm-hmm. I still remember the secret ingredient I had to make a dinner with.
Parsnip?
Rutabaga. Yeah. I've never since made a meal with a rutabaga.
I can't remember what mine was, but it was weird. We went to Ralph's.
Yeah. We went to Ralph's in California.
In California, where we lived.
Okay.
Back when we had time to watch TV shows like Chopped. Okay. And last one of this list, describe partners driving.
Careful.
I thought you might say conservative. Crazy.
My driving is crazy?
It starts with a C. It was a means to an end, man.
All right, fine. But you know that's not true. I'm actually a great driver, for the record.
I mean,
As every man
I'm
would ever
not
say.
going to reassure one way or the other.
I will. All right, moving on. Next round.
Okay, did you like that one?
Yes.
Okay, so we want to do another one?
Yes.
Okay, shall we ask the chat to pick a new one, or shall we just pick one? I'll let you pick. 1 through 4, we already did number 2.
Number 1.
Number 1, pick a letter.
L.
Okay. So I'm going to say, chat, list one with the letter L, but don't share your answers yet. Hopefully it doesn't spiral. It did a really good job with one of my other ones. Okay. 90 seconds on the clock.
And go.
All right.
Okay.
Timer. Put your pen down.
All right.
Okay. So we had list 1, damnation. Letter was L. And hang on, I got to get the chat up to date here. Okay. Share your answers, chat. Hopefully you did the questions correctly this time. Okay. Things that have germs. Number 1, what did you say?
Lounge chairs.
Ooh. I said lips.
Lips.
Technically.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And the Chat GPT participating this time.
Okay.
It's laptop.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
Laptops do have germs.
Lots of germs.
So we all got a point for
we
that.
all get a point. Okay.
Type of disease or infection. Lou Gehrig's disease.
Ooh. Okay.
disease.
Type of disease or infection. I said Lyme disease.
Because
I've been learning about Lyme, y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
Chat GPT said listeria, so I think we all get something there.
All right.
Look at that.
Okay.
We chat is here to play today.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, places where people get sick. What did you put?
That is the one I could not come up with.
I said the latrine.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Chat GPT said lunchbox.
Okay.
I guess you could get sick in your lunchbox. All right. Number 4, things that make people vomit.
I put lunch.
Okay. I said larva.
Okay.
Chat GTP said Lysol. I'm not giving you a point for that, chat. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Number 5. Items you might find in the garbage.
Lard.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Chat and I came up with the same thing.
Oh no! What did it say?
Litter.
Oh,
I thought that was so clever.
Gosh, that's funny.
Oh, chat.
Canceled you out.
It canceled me. Canceled. Okay. All right. Number 6. Items you could find in a doctor's office.
Long needles.
Ooh. I said late arrivals. People are late for their appointment. Chat said laboratory scientist.
Okay. Sure.
Patrick, your eyes were like, yeah. Yeah, chat. Okay. Number 7. Places to learn more about health conditions.
I put the Lutheran healthcare website. Lutheran is a local health.
It's actually like
network.
a national health network here in the States. But that's
Lutheran
funny.
Hospital,
That's funny. I put the library.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
And chat said laboratory, but they said laboratory scientist last, so they can't repeat. I'm sorry, chat. Gotta be a little more original than that.
Gotta play the game
I've already
right
given
there,
it
buddy.
that instruction too. It's it's slacking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 8. What is it?
Things a doctor might say.
Okay. What is it?
I put leave now. I mean, they might say it.
Would they say that?
Leave now.
Who would it say that?
Depends on the patient.
They might be like, leave a deposit, but they wouldn't leave now. I don't know about that one.
You know, I feel like I've seen a movie where I've heard a doctor say, you need to leave now. I feel like I've heard that.
Or I thought you were going to say like a Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen, like, leave now. But Here, you know what mine was? Things a doctor might say.
What?
Looks like it's over.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I get that one either. I think, though, the chat might get it. Luvafloxacin. It's a prescription. I don't even think I
That made me
pronounced
cough.
it correctly. Oh,
I could have said my blood pressure medicine if it were going down that road.
If,
Okay.
if it started with an L, Lisinopril, I guess you could. I was like,
Now the
blood
world
pressure
knows I'm on
doesn't-
Lisinopril. I don't care. Okay, moving on.
My blood pressure did come down after I shared that answer
Nice,
earlier.
nice.
My watch tells me.
Okay. Dirtiest item in your home. The
What'd you say?
loo.
The Luke? That's a place you could get sick, too.
Uh-huh.
I said Luke.
Yeah. That's too bad, but true.
Not my little Luke.
Do I get credit for leave now? Or do I have to cross that off?
Yeah, I didn't give myself credit for looks like it's over. If that tells you anything. You're like
I'll
counting
cross
it.
off.
No, just
All
kidding.
right.
Chat said lethargy, so that's not the dirtiest thing in our home, but
So dirty.
it's so philosophical. It's like your laziness and lack of energy is dirty. Well, thanks, chat. Okay, how about number 10?
Food that goes bad easily in the refrigerator.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what did you put?
Okay, I put leftovers.
Okay, I put linguine.
Which we have so often. It's that gluten-free linguine just has no shelf life. I tell you.
Honestly, it probly wouldn't last
It
long.
wouldn't last. Yeah. The chat said locker room, so it doesn't know what it's saying.
What?
And in the fridge there, it's starting to drift. Okay.
I like how it like veers off, gets dumber and dumber.
Yes. Number 11. Something gross.
I put loogie.
I did too.
Oh.
Chat said latex gloves.
What? I guess they are, depending on what you've touched.
To be fair, it thought the question was something you use to avoid contamination, but still.
It made up its own
It's-
question.
Yes, but latex
Oh my
gloves I don't
gosh.
think are gross per se.
This
You have
is
an
quite
allergy.
funny.
I'm going to pick list 3 for us because I had to hone it in. List 3. Complete list 3 with
What letter?
the letter. I'm going to throw us a bone here. I'm going to go for an S.
I thought you were going to say X.
No, X would be hard.
S is fine.
Don't share. Well, thanks. I'm glad you're approving. Don't share answers yet, chat. Okay. Can you set the timer?
Hold on. Go.
Time.
All right.
All right, ready?
Hmm,
Here are your
Yep.
answers, chat. Okay, here we go. Number 1. So this is, the category was here and now sensory data. So this is an ICBT themed column for
Okay.
categories. If you're newer to ICBT, it talks about how OCD lives in the imagination and is really kind of these confused conclusions that hold us hostage in the imagination. That is a very, very overly simplified explanation, but it challenges us to use our here and now sensory data. And so this one is all about things in the here and now. Now, the chat is a computer. It's an AI. I was like, chat, how are you going to be able to do this? And it was like, tell me some stuff about your environment, and I'll see if I can help. So we'll see how it did. We'll see how
Okay.
it did.
All right.
But for now, the first one. So something you can see, talking about sight. What's something you can see?
Sonoma.
You see Sonoma in here?
Oh, in here?
Yes.
It has to be in here?
Yes, in
Well-
our here and now.
Do you have Mac OS Sonoma installed?
No.
Darn
You needed a time to adapt some of those answers.
Hold on.
There's supposed to be things present right now.
All of?
Here and now.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to let you refill it out.
Thank you. I'll be fast. No.
We'll give you like 10 more seconds.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Time's up.
Oh, is it? It sure is. Okay, sir. Here and now sensory data. So to clarify, these are things here and now in the room, here and now. We're
Right.
using our common sense ability to detect evidence in the here and now. Okay, so number 1, something you can see.
Switch.
Yeah. I said, sexy man.
Oh,
Chat said,
It's me.
love that confidence. And so Chat said smartphone. That was smart. I like that, Chat. I give it to you there. All right. How about number 2? Something you can taste.
I have spit.
You taste your spit. What does it taste like?
Like spit.
Is that a tip?
In the here and now, what am I tasting? Spit. What do you want from me?
I said,
I'm just happy something fit.
I said a subtle orange flavor.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
think there was
that's true.
orange essence in
There
that
was
drink.
a lot of orange in that
Okay,
drink.
then it wasn't so
So
subtle.
you're not wrong.
Yeah. The Chat said it tastes salt. Shut up, Chat. Do you? Maybe it's getting a little salty.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Something you can smell.
Stink.
That's what you smell in the air now.
I
took
couldn't
a
think of anything.
I took a shower before.
No, I know.
so
It's not you.
It's
probably me.
Well, I said sweat. So
Well, so we weren't far off.
And the Chat says it can smell scarf.
What kind of
It thought-
activities is it
It
doing?
thought it was touching. Okay, all right. Something you can touch. Speaking of
Sock.
sandal, I gave you sock.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm a giving person. Okay. Oh, well, hang on. Number 4, something you can touch. Soap. There's no soap in it. Okay. Sorry, Chat.
But there could be.
Okay. Number 5, something that is normal inside the room.
Sheets.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There is a bed in this room. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I share my podcast studio with the master. I put surveying sound levels.
Ah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
okay.
a normal thing to do during a
Uh-huh.
podcast recording. The Chat is listening to music. It was like, I hear a song. Do you?
Yep.
All right. Number 6. Something that is broken.
Yeah. I put screen because the window screens are broken.
Kinda, yeah.
They are
Yeah.
in this room. So we don't really use them.
Yeah.
We use the windows, but we don't use screens.
I mean, we don't have broken windows, but yeah, I mean,
No,
it's
no.
the screens.
Yeah.
Could use
so
some
I put
replacing.
so I put screen.
I put so many things.
Excellent. Between the crap and the so many things, people are getting a good idea.
So many things are wrong.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what did the Chat put? Serenity. Serenity is broken in here. I don't know.
I'll give it to it.
Right. Number 7, something you have functional certainty of.
Seats.
You have functional certainty of the seat you're sitting on?
Yeah.
Nice. I went a similar angle, but said it differently, and I think we should both get the point. I said sitting safely.
Uh-huh.
Chat said schedule.
Okay.
Yeah, we can have certainty. I'll give you that, Chat. I'll give you that. You're sitting there singing a song, but that's fine. That's fine. Number 8, something irrelevant or imagined, meaning something that is OCD obsessional is essentially what that means.
Secretions?
Are you imagining secretion?
I don't know.
I mean,
I couldn't think of
I don't know what I'm giving you that one.
I couldn't think of anything
I
for
said
this one.
space invaders with sandwiches.
Nice. Let you imagine that. That's interesting.
And it's irrelevant because it's completely made up. Yeah, exactly.
Example of a obsessional doubt.
Hang on.
Oh.
You know what Chat said is a real imagined
What?
success. A little bit of salty again, aren't we?
I think it's getting bored
to
of this
be-
game.
It's like, screw you. To use the S word, screw. Yeah, no, it to be fair, Levin thought the question was talking about a desire, but it was not. It was something that was supposed to be imagined. Okay. Number 9, example of an obsessional doubt.
Okay, I put safety.
Well, I think it would be like, safety is what you'd want. You wouldn't be like, I'm afraid I'm safe.
No, afraid I'm unsafe.
Well, you didn't say unsafe. You said safe.
The category of safety, the scategory of safety. All right, fine.
I don't think so. I think
I'll take it.
am I a safe person could be a VST, could be a feared possible self or a vulnerable self theme. But
All right.
I said sucking at podcasting.
Ah.
That would be like an obsessional doubt.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I just got my year in review. That's not me just like tooting my own horn. It's like if I look at my year in review, for example, Spotify, I talked about recently, or if you follow OCD Family Podcast on social media, I talked about a couple of the postings and stats that I got from Spotify. So if I looked at that and said, but what if I suck at this and people don't like me? I would not be assessing the data that came in real time. I would be living in the but what if imagined irrelevant, absorbing, but obsessional doubt. Okay. And the chat said sofa. It's like, that's a doubt. I'm a sofa. You know what? Maybe for you, that could be a doubt, chat. You're a computer. Okay. How about number 10? Example of a feared possible self.
So I don't actually worry about this, but it is an example of what could be, and that is stupid.
Yes, that is an example of what could be.
But I mean, I don't really worry about that.
Yes.
But it could be, right?
Yeah. I said selfish person.
Sure.
Yeah. Chat said speaker, as in a podcast speaker. That's your feared. It's like the worst thing would be as if I was a podcast speaker.
Oh my God.
Thanks, chat. Salty. I tell you. Okay. Number 11, last one.
Things you can do to focus on the present.
Yes.
I put sing.
Ooh, you in the chat. Feeling sing-songy
it
tonight.
said it?
Well, no. It said song up above. I think you're safe on that one.
Okay.
Chat said sipping, perhaps on a drink while playing the game.
Oh.
Nice, chat. Look who woke us up. Chat's coming in hot. They're like, this is the end. I shall make my exit.
Yeah.
Sit down. Have functional certainty. Okay. Mine was stay present.
I like that.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's count up our points.
Okay.
See who won.
Okay. All right. I got my points.
Okay. Are you totaling them in all totality?
Yes.
Okay. What was your total?
My grand total was 25.
I had 28.
Oh, you beat me.
And I didn't even count chats because it just went on its own little journey until the end where it was like dropping a bomb there. Well, that was fun. So again, on OCDFamilyPodcast.com, you can download, you can play OFP, that's OCD Family Podcast, OCD's categories, or you can even create your own list. You don't necessarily need to use my template, but if it's helpful, there are a couple blank lists for you to be able to play this with your fam. That was a fun one.
That was very fun.
It actually took me a decent amount of time to come up with like the different pieces of it so that it felt relevant to different OCD categories. But yes, that's kind of what you could do.
Well, good job.
Thank you. All right, so we had one more game on the docket, but you know what? I feel like we just ended up really leaning into those other two games. And so what I'm going to just say is a brief overview of what the other game would have been. And it's another way that you can vary something for an ICBT application. So we were going to play What's in Santa's Bag? And we had 5 different items collected throughout the house. So again, this is a really easy thing. People just collect items. You don't have to come up with a particular theme, but people are using just their sensory data by touching, by shaking. You can't see what's in the bag.
Sensory data minus eyes.
Minus eyes, because it's in Santa's bag, and you're not going to be like, hey, obviously, I'm just going to go through this in front of you, Santa. But yes, you're using different sensory data other than sight to be able to pick up on what's in the here and now. And so 5 items in the bag together, you feel through it, and as many items as you can correctly identify using your here and now sensory evidence, you get to be the winner if you have the most items.
I love it.
Yes. Did you? You know what, though? I do want to tell you some of the items I had in my thing.
Go for it.
Okay.
Well, you can have me do it really quick.
You want me to have you do it?
Just
Okay.
really quick. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's do a speed round.
All right. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's like a squish ball thing. And that, what in the world? Is that a buckle? Where would you get a buckle? What in the world is that? And then this is a spongy thing.
What makes you think buckle?
Oh, I can identify one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is a Lego minifigure.
Can you tell what kind of minifigure?
A girl with hair like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's you. I was right.
Yes, it's me. It's one of the many wardrobe and hair changes that I have.
You can't miss a minifig.
It's me in my business formal kind of conference suit that I use in
All right,
the
let me
water
go to
cooler
the next
chats.
one. Okay. Oh.
It's got 1 point.
I know what this is. It's not a buckle. This is the piece of hardware that goes to our broken window. It's supposed to close the window. I was right.
Remember, people, so many things.
There's a lot of problems in our house.
Things.
Okay.
We have a house with character.
So far, I've got a pretty good track record here. Okay,
so he's using his sensory data pretty well.
Yeah, so the way I identified that not being a buckle was the loose screws on it. I'm like, yeah, this isn't a buckle. Okay, what is this?
You're like, what are the loose screws in this? I mean, some buckles could have
This is
screws.
obviously a squish toy, but to tell you more, oh, okay. What would we have that's a squish toy? I'm just gonna go out and say maybe a skull squish toy. I don't really know what this is.
Oh, okay. Pull it out.
Ooh, I was close.
That is a panda. And I got this from IOCDF because pandas that we just covered on the podcast here a couple episodes ago is a neuropsychiatric condition that can happen for kids and adults after having strep, having other sicknesses, Lyme disease. And so it's a little stress ball squish in the shape of a panda. So I'm not surprised you didn't get the animal.
Yeah.
But he
really
did get
hard to get the
You
animal.
got that it was a squish ball. So I give you that. I give you like a half point.
What in the world am I holding here? This is like a spongy thing with a couple of holes in it. It's flat. It's square. It's like, I feel like it's something very bespoke that I wouldn't think of. If I pull it out, it'll be like
it's bespoke.
It's like a piece to like a machine or something.
A machine?
Like it doesn't
a broken machine, maybe?
What in the world is this?
So I like how he's trying to lead into what it could be, and he's having some relative doubt because he is able to tell it's square. He's able to tell it's squishy.
It's foam. It's like a foam square with a couple of like, not holes, but like slits in it.
Flaps, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Is this something that like I would never guess?
I think you're gonna miss this one.
Yeah.
It's okay. Perfection.
And I'll take it out and see. Let's see.
It is the liner for a earring and jewelry.
See, it is bespoke. It's bespoke. It's made specifically for a particular application.
It's used.
How am I supposed to know that?
It's used. You can see though now. You can see how like earrings went in that.
Like
part,
I totally,
and the pendant went through that.
I totally know. Like that. My mind saw the color, the size, everything, but I could still not have told you. Even looking at it, I couldn't have told you what it went to.
Yeah.
That was hard.
In many ways, in many ways, he said what it was based on the functional read of it in the here and now, and he wasn't wrong.
But I even knew it was that
Just
color.
because he didn't know the function of it didn't mean he wasn't taking in the data appropriately.
Right.
I'll give you a half point for that.
I even knew it was going to be that color because it's like a lot of times foam is that color.
He sensed it.
Everything.
Well, you may have
so
imagined
this is
based on past experiences. You couldn't have known for sure.
so
until
this
you
one
knew.
is some sort of, oh, this one is a, I have a feeling I know what this is. This is a ribbon type thing, but I think if I had to guess, let me do something to be sure.
Ooh.
Hold on. Oh, is this like a, okay, I'm between two possibilities.
Talk it out.
Okay, it's either like, okay, at first I thought it might be a dog collar, but it's not.
A dog collar.
But I think it actually might be like a bra strap.
It's a bra strap.
A dog collar or a bra strap. Which one?
It's a very small dog
Oh,
collar.
we have a small dog.
Oh my gosh. Ridiculous.
I got it.
You did get it, which again,
I know
you
bra
didn't.
straps. Just kidding. Is
This
there anything
is-
else?
No, that's it.
Oh,
Did
that
you
was
like
fun.
you like that
Yeah,
game?
that was
He
fun.
is a very tactile person. The bra strap is from one of those where it can convert to like a strapless bra, and so
Uh-huh.
yeah. But he
I
got
like
it.
Yeah.
And you know what? For all the things, even though he couldn't tell something completely, he pretty much spot on was
Uh-huh.
able to feel through all the things. So the wonderful thing about this is like you don't even have to sit there and rack your brain like, is this going to challenge my OCD or this or not? Like it's literally helping you just trust your senses.
Mhm.
And even for the things where he's like, what is this spotchy thing? He was able to trust his senses and describe it pretty perfectly. So
Yeah.
so I think you did a good job with that, Morris. I will allow it.
Why, thank you.
So that's another game you can play. And I think sometimes people get stuck like, what can I play, that's going to help with some of the denser concepts that we learn about in inference-based CBT. And that is a great game. And honestly, I mean, whether people are struggling with OCD or not, it can be a great game just to kind of tune into your senses as well. So
And it's just a fun game.
it was fun. I'm glad I did. I
I bet our kids would like that game.
Kids do like that. I've played it in therapy for different things.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, but not with ICBT.
But not with the bra strap.
Not with the bra strap.
A parent looks at you like, what is
Yeah,
that?
That would be
You're like, it's a dog collar.
yeah, it's a dog collar. So we have a small dog.
That's a very shiny dog collar.
It's a very small dog with an adjustable neck.
Very silky.
Silky, okay. All right, Morris. So that's our holiday edition for this year. And,
Ooh.
I think we varied some of the games. We took an oldie but a goodie. I think the categories game was pretty fun.
It was.
And you can do that with multiple players.
Yeah.
And the here and now evidence game too, of just
Mhm.
learning to rely on your senses, whether you're shaking the bag or
Mhm.
really just feeling and sensing for the different things, I think are good too, because, all of that is going to be helpful in you staying kind of grounded in the here and now, staying present.
Yep.
Sipping. What was your S1 for the staying present? Your 11, number 11?
Sing.
Singing. Singing. All these things.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah. So those are some ideas for you, fam.
Yeah.
We hope that you have a very merry holiday season, whatever you may be partaking in, whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever holidays you partake in. I really appreciate everybody that has continued to support the podcast and shared. And so, yeah, any final thoughts that we could leave with the fam here as we sign off?
Well, I'm just super thrilled at how the podcast is doing and the big community that you're building. And I'm so impressed with all of the people who have come through to share their stories and their expertise. It's been amazing to see. And mostly I'm impressed with you and the way you put it all together and brought people together. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you, honey. And I have to say, I would agree that the caliber of our guests that courageously share lived experience, that take their time and donate their time to continue the advocacy to help facilitate a lot of these different concepts that can be tricky and sometimes we don't hear much about outside of trainings. And so absolutely, I'm so grateful. But we're better together. So I can't do it alone. I can't even do it with them alone. It's you two family showing up, and just thank Patrick for his support because I definitely I put a lot of work into our time together and I don't regret that, but sometimes that means needing some extra support from him in other areas, and he has been a gracious partner in that. So thank you for that.
Anytime, my love.
Now see, that's recorded so I can play it back to him. You said this, see? But yes, thank you. And to you and yours, I hope you are having a great start to the month of December. If you're listening to this later, hey, hope today is a good day. And thank you again for hanging out.
Yep. And have a happy holidays.
Thank you for joining me and our OCD family community. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please like and subscribe to the OCD Family Podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Did you find this content helpful? Please consider leaving a review. The more people that know they're not alone, the better. For more information regarding today's podcast, please visit OCDFamilyPodcast.com and remember to join the email list while you're there. It will provide you with the most up-to-date information, resources, and the down low on the family chatter. Oh yeah. Nothing says family like playing holiday games when OCD's to blame. That's right, I went there. And you can too at OCDFamilyPodcast.com.